Welcome to the final video in the FindingYourChurch.com step-by-step video series that will show you a total of 4 secret strategies that are actually a 4-step process that you can follow to increase your church online visibility in your local community. My name once again is Jeremy Phillips, and I started FindingYourChurch.com to help churches that are either struggling to get new visitors in the door or who already have strong visitor numbers but want to increase even more and clean up their online information, making it easier for new potential visitors to find their churches. So in the first video, we covered claiming and optimizing your local business directory listings like your Google Business and Bing Places listings to give Google more confidence in your church. In the second video, we discovered that Google loves Google, and so when you post church-related content to your Google Plus page that is connected to your church Google Business and Maps page, then your church Google Business and Maps listing is much more likely to increase in Google church-related search terms for your area. So in the third video, we mentioned that encouraging people who love your church to leave a positive review of your church on your Google Business page will help improve your visibility in Google as well. But more importantly, it will leave a positive impression on potential new visitors to your church who find your church Google page. So the fourth step is actually one of the simplest steps, but in many ways, it is one of the most critical to making this process work completely to its maximum effectiveness. So all the other steps happen off of your church website, but this step will happen on your church website. So as long as you have access to be able to add content to your church website, this actually may be one of the simplest steps of all of them, and I will share that fourth step with you in just a moment. But in the first video, I mentioned that some of you may not have the time or the staff or the volunteers to take the hours needed to, number one, figure out how to claim and optimize the listings on the 50 or so local business directories. Number two, figure out how to set up your Google Business page correctly so that it shows up in Maps. And number three, set up your Google Plus page so that it automatically posts the same content as you are posting to your Facebook and your Twitter pages, which helps increase your visibility. So, and like we said, it triggers Google to come back and recrawl that page to increase your visibility and know what it's about for your local church search terms. So even though by watching these videos you now know what to do, there are still a lot of details that you, your staff, or volunteers are going to have to figure out, which would take way too long to try to explain all of those little details in these videos. So this includes knowing what information you need to gather before you start submitting to your listings, and just there's a lot of different details like that. And again, it's totally possible for you to do it on your own, but there are some extra things that would take too long to explain in these videos. What I've given you is an overview of what you need to do. So if you have the time to do it on your own and the resources, I would encourage you to go for it. But I can promise you that it will take you much more time than you think, especially since you have not done it before. It takes me way longer than I think, and I do know what I'm doing. So to correctly optimize as many of the 50 or so local business directories, Google Business page, and church directory listings will take a lot of time and effort. That said, it can be done. But if you do not have a lot of time to devote to setting this up, I do have a solution for you. And I want you to remember that once this is set up correctly, you should not really have to think about it again unless you add a church location or your church changes locations. And before I get into this, I do want to say, again, my little disclaimer is that Google is Google. You can't control Google. So doing these things does not guarantee that you're going to shoot up to number one with your church website and Google Maps listing and whatever. But I can guarantee that if you don't put these strategies in place, which are really what Google wants to see right now, that you're not going to have a shot for it happening. So, but in our personal experience, and even in that example I gave in an earlier video with the current church where I attend, we experienced a huge dramatic increase in new visitors by doing exactly what I'm getting ready to talk about. So I have created what I call the Church Roadmap Package, designed to help lead potential new visitors directly to your church using this 4-step strategy. And so the work is completed by a combination of my direct involvement in claiming and optimizing the main listings like Google Business, Bing, and the local church directory listings. But I also utilize utilize a professional company to claim and optimize most of your top 50 directory listings, and to set up your data aggregator feeds to feed information about your church to fill in the gaps that may be missed by manual listing, that claiming process, doing it the manual way. This data aggregator system feeds it in a more automated way above those manual listings, filling in all the gaps. So this takes nearly all of the work out of the process that we have looked at in this video series. And so if you use this package, it's going to take the work out of it for you. The main thing you will have to do is gather some contact type information about your church and a few pictures for me to use in the listings in your logo. And you may also most likely have to pass on a PIN number to me from a postcard that you'll receive in the mail. Other than that, we will handle the entire process for you. And so what does the Church Roadmap package include? It actually covers the first 3 steps in the video, plus instructions for how you can complete the 4th step, since I don't have access to your church website. But I promise you that the 4th step that I'm going to tell you about in a minute will be extremely simple, and I'll show you that shortly. So here's what's included in the Church Roadmap package. It's number 1 is we will claim and optimize your church Google business page and Maps listing. Number 2, we'll claim and optimize your church Bing Places listing. And you may have a question in thinking, well, what about Yahoo? You may have heard about Yahoo Local. Yahoo Local has become extremely difficult to claim, and I would just rely on the data aggregators that are above that level to try to fix that, because they have basically become a huge problem as far as for the average person to be able to claim that listing. And so we do Google and Bing and the top 50, and we let the data aggregators sort the rest out. So number 3, so the first 2 is claim your Google business and your Maps and your Bing Places listing. Number 3, claim and optimize as many of the top 50 local directory listings as possible, like the Online Yellow Pages, Manta, Merchant Circle, Yelp, and many, many more. Number 4, will submit your correct church contact information and details to the data aggregator feeds to increase the consistency of information online about your church. And we've already discussed that in detail, but that's included as well. Number 5, we will claim and optimize your church listings as much as possible in 3 of the top local church directory listing websites. Number 6, set up a Hootsuite.com account with your church Google Plus page connected so that you can schedule posts in advance and also auto post the same content that you are posting to your Facebook and Twitter pages to auto post to your Google Plus page, like we looked at in the second video, which will trigger Google to come back and crawl that page for you and will definitely help you. So those are the things that are covered in the basics of the Church Roadmap package. So not only will finding your church complete these 6 steps for you, but you're also going to receive 3 free bonuses if you act on this offer, including 250 free positive review cards that we mentioned in the 3rd video that I'm going to tell you more about in a minute. So I'm going to tell you the discounted price for the Church Roadmap package, just as a thank you for listening to this and for getting more details and for understanding it more. I'm going to give you a discounted price and then also share with you the 3 bonuses that I am offering. So normally the price of this package is $795 one time, but if you act on this offer, you're not going to pay $795. So for taking the time to watch this video series and learn why these 4 secret strategies work and are important, I'm giving you a $100 off discount. Plus, I'm giving you my regular bonuses and adding an additional bonus that I do not normally offer. So if you move forward with the Church Roadmap package using the link connected to this video, you will only pay $695 one time, or you can choose a 2-payment option of $347.50, kind of like in a 2-month series. So now that's the basics of what that covers, but let me tell you about the bonuses that I'm also going to give you in addition to the main work that we will do in the Church Roadmap package. The first bonus is you're going to get the 250 free professionally printed positive review cards are in glossy cardstock shipped directly to your church. These cards are designed to help your church get positive reviews on your church Google business page. These are 6-inch by 2-inch cards that have your logo and church information on them, as well as instructions for how a person can leave a positive review on both your Facebook and your Google business page. That's the first bonus, the cards. So the second bonus is the Moving to the Area PDF Strategy Guide. And this guide will show you an idea about how to create a local business directory on your church website of the actual businesses in your area, and with the intention of getting your church website found in local search terms like shopping, restaurants, gyms, banks, and schools in your city. This would mean that people in your area who are currently not searching for a church might actually find your church. That's the second bonus, the PDF strategy guide. The third and final bonus that I don't offer on the normal page, even with the $795 package, I don't offer this, is a free upgrade to the paid membership of the Finder resource if you are not already on that level. And so if you're not already a paid member, you will be upgraded to a paid membership level, which is a $175 value. And I know that some of you may already be in that paid membership level, but I'm going to upgrade you to that paid membership level if you are not already there. So like I mentioned, normally this package is $795, but if you use the link connected to the video, you will only pay $695 one time, or you can choose two payments of $347.50. So the link is on the screen if you would like to move forward with your church roadmap package, which I believe will make it easier for potential new visitors to find and visit your church. So in a minute, I'm going to tell you the fourth secret strategy, but you still may be trying to decide if taking action on this is for you, and you may be asking, how do I know if my church needs this? Well, number one, I believe that nearly every church can benefit from cleaning up online information and making it more consistent. If your church has never done anything like this before, I feel that it would be a benefit to your online reach. And the reality is that even churches that have been around for a long time have an information mess online, and sometimes especially churches that have been around for a long time have a mess. And multiple people have posted information over the years, plus Google changes things that affect how your church information is presented online. So your church may have looked great a while ago, but now it doesn't look so great because of the way the formats have changed. And so your church may look bad, incorrect, or confusing to potential new visitors, and you may not even know it. So if you're a new church, doing these steps are an absolute necessity as the process establishes your church online. And we can most likely help you do this even if you meet in a school or a movie theater. We can help you claim a listing, most likely, even if you don't have total control of your address and meeting location like most church plants have in their situation. So number two, if you are still unsure if your church needs this, there is a button on the page that's linked, connected to this video, on the purchase page, where you can request a free scan and report of your church online visibility in these local listings. And so I'll give you a free detailed report, and then you can decide from there whether or not to move forward with the church roadmap package and the free bonuses. If you decide to request your free report first, I will still give you the $695 offer if you decide to purchase after looking at the report. Remember, this is something that you should only have to put into place once for your church unless you add locations or change locations. So this is a one-time investment in your church online reach that works to clean up information about your church online that potential new visitors might find and lead them back to your church for a visit. That's the goal of it. Plus, it extends the reach of your church online by giving Google one of the things that it wants to see, which is consistency of your church contact information on as many local business directories as possible. And this package helps you get positive reviews on your listing that can help potential new visitors make the decision to make an actual visit. So while you're checking out the link to the church roadmap package, I will very quickly give you the fourth secret strategy to help your church get found online. This is something that I could possibly help you do if you get the package, but if you or someone on your team has access to your church website footer area and contact page, then you will be able to easily make this change yourself. So when we're talking about the local business directory information in the first video, we mentioned that Google wants to see your church information on as many of these local directory sites as possible. But there's one very important thing to keep in mind. It wants your church information to be as exactly consistent across the sites as possible. This consistency is even to the point of making sure that you make the decision as to whether or not you would abbreviate a word or spell it out. They don't care if you use the letter N instead of spelling out north in your address, but you have to make a choice and then be consistent with it online. The way this connects back to your church website is that Google looks to see if your church name, address, and phone number are also exactly the same on your website as what you have on your local listings. So a simple way to make this happen is to put your exact church name, address, and phone number in the footer of your site on every page of your site so that it shows up there, and then also on your contact page. That's it. It's simple. Place the exact address and phone number information, name, address, and phone number information in your footer and on your contact page, and over time Google will connect that to your listings and potentially increase your website in local church related search terms. So I hope you consider getting the Church Roadmap package and letting us help your church get more easily found online. If you do not use us, I would encourage you to get it done regardless. Do it yourself if you need to, but whatever you need to do, get it done, because this strategy is important to have in place for your church. So like I mentioned, normally this package is $795, but if you use the link connected to this video, you will only pay $695 one time, or you can choose 2 payments of $347.50. The links on the screen are connected to this video, either on the page or in the YouTube description, wherever you find it. If you would like to move forward with your Church Roadmap package, which I believe will make it easier for potential new visitors to find and visit your church. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video series. I look forward to potentially being able to work with your church. I want to leave you with a video testimonial from my home church. This is from our associate pastor, and he is sharing about the changes and increasing visitor numbers that I described in the first video since we put these 4 strategies into place at our church. Thanks again, and I look forward to working with you very soon.
Hi, I'm Aaron Poore, and I'm the associate pastor at Journey Church of Kansas City. And I just want to take a second and let you know about how using findingyourchurch.com has impacted our online presence. Now, we've been seeing guests coming and visitors coming in our front door for a long time. But here just recently, in 2016, we began using findingyourchurch.com to help us with our online presence. And from February to July of this year, we've seen at least 100 new visitors, 18 and up. Now, that's not even taking into account youth and children. And so for a church of about 500 people, that's really significant. That represents a significant change in the amount of people that are coming in our front door. And you know, when people come in and they're our guests for the first time, we try to ask them as much as we can, how did you find out about Journey Church? And I'm going to tell you, every time I've asked them, it's always been, I found you because of your website, and I found you because I did a search on Google, and you were the first ones. And so if you need help getting your name a little higher up the list or increasing your online presence, I would recommend findingyourchurch.com. It's made a difference for us. I believe it can for you too.